These are just different little, they really out of context right now because they're all scattered. But these are some of the letters I used to entertain people with. This one is one that I made, and the guys really got a kick out of this one in prison. Because like I say, my name is Darryl, and I told them that my mom hooked me up with a pen pal, a girl for me to write, and this is the first letter I got from her. So I would set it up for the guys about who she is, and I'd start the letter off like, hey, let them know, hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my name Darryl, right? And we're like, well, I got a letter from this girl that my mom hooked me up with, and the letter starts off, hi Dennis, you don't know me. I met your mama at the 99-cent store. She say I might like you because my 4 sons and 2 daughters look like you, and they need a daddy. They 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm 6'4", 673 pounds. I'm big boned. You have to excuse my crooked writing. I lost an eye when I got stabbed by my 4-year-old. I spanked him for stabbing my 2-year-old with a fork because we didn't have no food in the house. And when I went to sleep, he stabbed me in the eye with a butter knife. My sign is one of them. My mama don't know my sign either. She say she must have gotten drunk and had sex with Bigfoot because she ain't never seen a big bitch like me before. But don't be scared because I want to toss your salad. Right now I'm just eating on a pack of raw bacon and drinking buttermilk mixed with French onion dressing. Wait until WWF comes on so I can sit back and watch my kids fuck each other up. Your mama is cool. She put a lot of stuff on layaway at the 99-cent store. I said, you go, girl. And she left me. My back hurt, in my neck, in my legs. I put Epsom salt in my neighbor's swimming pool and soaked until the water turned gray. My 6-year-old was listening to that song, I Believe I Could Fly, and jumped off the roof. I want to know if he heard, I won't know if he heard himself until he tried to get up. He tell me, I am trying to get up. I tell him to push that bone back in his hip and stop bullshitting. Your mama say you are desperate for a woman, and Lord knows I need a desperate ass man. A homeless, basket-pushing, mismatched sock-wearing motherfucker that can't hold down food because he stay drunk. My last boyfriend left my ass when he sobered up. My hormones are boiling, and I take it any way I can. With a straw, on a stick, in my jello, I can do you after school like some homework, and I want to graduate with honors. So tell me what you want, and I'll get it for you, as long as it ain't money. Can you get me? Can you get an advance on your gate money? Send me $50, and I'll send you a postal money order. Your mama said bring some state soap home and some powdered toothpaste. Well, this is what I used to entertain them with, and some of the guys would think it was a real letter. So When my mom was 11 years old, she witnessed her mom being killed by her boyfriend. When the time came for court, my mom had to take the stand. The judge asked my mom how much time should he be sentenced to. My mom told the judge 99 years and 3 dark nights, and that's what he was sentenced to. 99 years and 3 dark nights. This is the hamburger stand where in 1986 I entered and ordered an order of chili cheese fries. And the guy that was with me robbed the place and killed the clerk. I think it's been over 30 years since I've came back to this spot. And the last time I walked in it, somebody lost their life. Takes me all the way back to 1986. It wasn't good then and it wasn't good now.
This is a poor black man's prayer calling on God and the spirit world. It's not a crime to want to be free.
Like back in the day, they used to say that, you know, you born guilty. You know what I'm saying? The doctor bring you in this world and you a little black baby and they hold you in their arms. They say, okay, we know your future. Get ready for the ride.
I know it's your birthday and everything, but I might slip up and act like it's mine. Mine was just last week, so I'm still rolling. It ain't the first yet.
Now your birthday, the rest of your birthday is across the street.
It's 29th. Can I get to the 29th?
That's me right there. Way up in there. This picture's of my sister right here. I put the ones of her. I don't know why I've never been a fan of people taking pictures of people in their caskets and stuff like that. So this is my sister that died when I was in prison. But they wouldn't let me go to the funeral though. She had cancer. I'm the baby of 10. And this is an old family photo from the 70s. I didn't want my mom to come to prison and visit me because to me, for them to have to search her and give her a thorough search was degrading, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't have them, you know, want them to put my mom through that.
You have your story, I have my story.
Okay, well, I'm sticking to mine.
I'm sticking to mine too.
Somebody lying. There's your side, my side, and the truth.
Okay, well, still.
And we don't know what the truth is. It's been 35 years, 36 years.
Your number, and
You had on a red top and some blue jeans.
Black.
Here we go with that bullshit. They was blue.
They were black.
They was blue, but they was dirty, so they look black.
No, you colorblind. You're colorblind.
Yep, and you ran up there like, hey,
I did not. I did not.
What your name is?
No, I
What
didn't.
your name is?
No.
You said, hey, Mr. Sexy Man. What your name is?
That is not what happened.
Now, this was in 1983. She wasn't ready for me yet. She wasn't ready for me. So we became best friends. She thought that when I came home in 2005 that she was gonna come see me and it was gonna be like just a week thing, a week fling or something like that. But
Well, bam, thank you, ma'am.
we ended up getting married, and we've been together 13 years now. Since I came home in 2005, we've been together. When I was in jail and I didn't know what hospital you was in, I called every hospital in LA in jail until I got the hospital that she was in, and they rung her room and she picked up the phone.
Yeah. Now that part I remember.
Yeah.
That part I remember.
I called every hospital in LA. I took everybody's phone time in jail so that they couldn't use the phone to find Tanya. And I found her. Yeah. When I got shipped off from the county upstate, we lost contact. And, you know, during the time we lost contact, she got pregnant, she got married, and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I always remembered her address. I never forgot the address. So I would write her letters and letters and letters and letters, but I'd never get a response. When she divorced her husband and went back home to her mom told her that you got letters, 3 years of letters in a shoebox. And she read them all, and then I called my mom from prison one day, and she said, Tanya called, and she called and she wanted your address. And I was like, did she leave a number? And my mom said, yeah. So I had my mom call her on a three-way from prison. So when I heard her voice, I was like, it was back on again. I met her son. He was 3. Marquise was 3. And when she would go on job interviews, I was babysitting so that she could go job hunting and stuff like that and go on interviews. I ended up going back to prison 2005 when I came back home. When I came back home, Marquise was 17 years old. And I've been in her and the kid's life ever since.
You need to get closer to Grandma.
Maybe? Okay.
You're free. Yeah. There you
Oh,
go.
Betty need to look at the camera. I came here in 1973, August of 1973.
73?
I thought you left that job because you was eating more potatoes than
No.
you was unloading.
No. When I first started there, I was.
This is a picture from 1989 when I went to prison. This is the life I felt accustomed to right here. I was either you was with them or against them, so I ended up hanging out with some of the guys from my neighborhood in the prisons, and this is a result of my affiliation right here. Something that I'm no longer about, but you gotta do what you gotta do to survive in that environment. In the men's warehouse, you gotta do what you gotta do to survive. Walking down the street on my way to the hamburger stand, and somebody whistles. I turn around and it's an associate, not even a friend, an associate that I know from the neighborhood, not someone I hang out with. And when he catch up to me, he asked me where I was going. I said I was going to the hamburger stand. And he said he was going to the hamburger stand also. We go inside, and when we go inside, I ordered some chili cheese fries. When he pulled out the gun, I looked at him like, "What the hell are you doing?" In that moment, the clerk looked at me. He shoots the clerk. I froze. I couldn't even move. It was like I had an outer body experience. He jumps on the counter, punches open the cash register and grabs the money, and jumps off the counter. He bumps into me. And when he bumps into me, I come back to reality. And we ran out the hamburger stand across the parking lot to the alley. When we got to the end of the alley, he came out with a wad of money and he offered me money, but I wouldn't take it. I hope this guy ain't dead, because I didn't know for sure whether he was dead or not. I just seen him go down, and it was a small caliber gun, so, maybe, he made it. I never thought that he was dead. What was going through my mind is that I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail because I ran. Hey, how are you? Good. I haven't set foot in this alley in 30 years. This was the last shortcut I took. 2 weeks later, they caught him robbing somebody else with the same gun, but he told the police that I planned the whole thing. They came and kicked in my doors, took me to jail for murder robbery. Well, I was 19. It wasn't supposed to happen. What happened was he was in a couple of cells down from me. In the morning, I would go up to the cell telling him, let the police know that I ain't have nothing to do with it. Another guy came to the cell, gave him a knife, which they call a shank, took off my shirt and wrapped it around my arm, and I keep him off with my left, and somebody hit me from the back. And then the next thing you know, I got 6 guys beating and stumping on me from 7 o'clock in the morning till 11:30 lunch. The doctor in the infirmary, he said, what happened? I said, I fell off my bunk. And he said, you must have bounced. They didn't take x-rays. They didn't see if I had concussions. They just stitched me up, and they had to go through the front of my throat. They locked it in with a metal plate. I can't run 5 feet without falling over. And I got this murder over my head from 1986 that I had nothing to do with, that stops me from getting good jobs. The psychiatrists and doctors that I seen said, you know, I had PTSD from the beating, severe depression. When I finally got thrown back into society, because that's what I felt they did. You know, when there ain't no preparations, they don't prep you to go back into the world. They give you $200 and they'll give you a bus ticket and, you know, send you back where you came from. I wasn't ready. Well, what kept me going is my writing. And I went to solitary because of incidents the blacks and the Mexicans got into, and I got caught in that. So I went to the hole for a year, and I stayed in my cell for a year. I needed to find me an escape to get my mind out of the prison. I could be locked up, but my mind could be free. So my escape for me was writing. This is the place they send you after you get sentenced in prison. This is where they send you. They send you here, and you get processed, and from here they'll send you to a prison where you do the rest of your time at. I began writing poetry, and then, you know, I was also writing fictitious comedy letters. You know, like this, you got a letter from your mother, and then everybody would want me to read the letter to them. So next thing you know, I was just entertaining the prison. If I could make, you know, a guy with life without parole laugh and tears come out his eye, that made me feel good. My dream is to write to sustain my family. If I can write, it means that I can't be defined by my past. It means that I don't need the prison walls in order to write. It means a life with freedom.
I'm good. Yeah.
My manager, Danny Sherman, I met Danny for the first time in 2005.
I met Darryl because I was married and we bought a house. They renovated it and sold it to basically the first white couple to move into the neighborhood, and that was us. About 2 weeks into living there, my wife Wendy came to me and said, there's this guy across the street with his homies. A couple weeks later, Wendy comes to me and says, I have good news and bad news. I approached Darryl, and he actually is cool. You know, he's been living in this neighborhood for, you know, years, his whole life. But the bad news is, in the conversation, somehow it came up that you represent screenwriters, and he's written a screenplay. One day, I'm coming home. Hey, you the manager man? He's walking towards me, and I see, you know, the tattoo, eye drop, and he goes, well, I wrote a screenplay. I said, oh, that's great, you know?
I wrote the script when I was in prison, unfortunately, but that was like my think tank while I was there, so.
And he says, I have 20 pages typed. The rest is written in crayon and pencil. And I said, well, first of all, why do you only have 20 pages typed? And he said, I wrote it in jail. And then he explains that he had been in jail 3 times, manslaughter, assault and battery, and grand theft auto. And at this point, I am just freaking out inside, trying to figure out how the hell am I going to get out of this situation. I said, listen, why don't you give me the 20 pages and I'll read it. Sat down one day and I read these pages, and it was the funniest thing I've ever read. Like, it was the most genuine, authentic writing. And I ended up selling it for $100,000, which was life-changing for Darryl at the time. And for me as a young manager was, in a way, life-changing for me.
But that's how I met Olaf. I met Olaf through my literary manager, Danny. Over time, we became really good friends because, you know, he didn't see me as an employee or somebody just driving him around and ending it there. You know what I mean? I didn't think that our friendship would go this long. And now he's a good friend of me and my wife. My wife loves some Olaf. There's my girl exiting the building. You ready to eat some fat burgers, baby?
Yep. Hungry.
Morning, America.
Good morning, America. I was thinking about it, but I was thinking more on Friday because Tanya is off on Friday, so I'm not gonna take it tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll take it Friday because she's off.
I have 11 o'clock tomorrow.
You said what?
I have 11 o'clock tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like 15 minutes away.
Oh, okay. I first got to meet Olaf. Olaf was coming to town. He had meetings. I picked him up, took him to his hotel, made sure he checked in safe and everything. So the next morning, when I picked him up to take him to his meetings, it was kind of quiet for the you know, first few days, but then, you know, we started talking and got to know each other and became friends. And
You're gonna wait here, or you're gonna park somewhere else?
I don't know. I'll text you and let you know if I move. But
We have a 10 o'clock and a 12 and a what?
2.
Morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Hold on. Hold on to your seatbelts. Hold on to your seatbelts.
So one day, once me and Tanya was living in Inglewood. So the guy that we met lived next door, said that he worked in real estate, and he was telling us, he told us where the houses was at that they were selling. So I say, okay, you work in real estate? He was like, yeah. I was like, all right. I was like, he gave us the address to the houses, and so that weekend, me and Tanya went to go see the houses. We thought he was a real estate agent. He was standing on the corner with a sign. I was like, that nigga ain't no damn real estate agent. He was the sign boy, waving the sign and I try to pump myself up. I try to wake up feeling like a writer and wanting to write, you know. I can't really put my finger on it, but I like to write, you know what I mean? But to not just be able to go and sit down and do it, it bothers me. Well, the easiest time for me to write is when I was in prison. At home, when I write, I'm easily distracted. Imprisoned by procrastination. It's just like, I bought a weight set about 2 years ago, and I probably only used it about 7 times. I have bikes in the garage that I bought, and now it's a clothes hanger. That's to coincide with my writing. I'd start it, and then I lose interest in it, and it'd take me a long time to go back to it. I was thinking that today too. I was like, I need a cabin in the woods, but that wouldn't work because I could hear a bird out there, a woodpecker, and I'll stop walking right and go see the woodpecker. You know what I mean? That truck that's passing by, you know, FedEx. That's 30 minutes wasted right there. If I could get in writing mode, like 100% full writing mode, full speed ahead, my name would be big. I really do believe that. When I went to prison, yeah, I did write a poem, if I could remember it all. No pieces of it. South Central is my dwelling place, is where I choose to roam. Vietnam is its nickname. This ghetto is my home. Casualties of war, DOA 14 years of age. The killer 12 and a half years old. The story, LA Times front page. So where did this hate come from? I cry out loud to myself. It comes from being misguided. If you got heart, then shoot yourself. Yeah, it goes like that. So how many brothers and sisters you got? You the oldest?
No, I'm the next oldest.
You're the second oldest.
Yeah.
It was 10 of us. 10. My mom had 5 of each. A lot of biscuits came out that oven. Mom had a garden with she had a real, cause she was from the country, so she brought the country to the city when she came out here from Louisiana. So my father, he died when I was like, I think maybe 14 or 15, like, you know. He always bought my other brothers, he bought all my brothers their first cars. But by the time it came around for me to get a car, he was gone. So I had to wait a little while longer. Didn't you say your father was a mechanic?
Yeah, he was a mechanic. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
He was, when I was, because you mentioned your brothers. So when I was small, I can't remember how old, 7, 8, 9. He was getting dressed for work, and I asked him a very sincere question, as you sometimes do when you're a kid. Like, Dad, what do you think I will be when I grow up?
Mm-hmm.
And he looked at me and he said it very, very kindly. One thing's for sure, Olaf, you're not gonna be a mechanic. Because he had seen me try to work those cars. I would just step back and like, a car is a tire. Just write a poem about it, but I was just like, yeah, I was very curious about it.
You're not gonna be a mechanic, that's for sure.
You're not gonna, but it was kind.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Where is he at now?
He died 18 or 19 years ago.
You said 19 years ago?
Yeah, something like that. 18.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How did he pass away?
Suicide.
Suicide?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it was like camouflaged depression, like accumulated depression. So it would lead into the car.
Oh,
But
really?
he had it in the back of the trunk for years. That's the scary part.
Exhaust?
Yes.
Ah, wow. Wow. I think if I went to commit suicide or took a whole lot of pills, before them pills kicked in, I'd be done called the ambulance. I would chicken out.
Yeah. How did your father pass away, if you don't mind asking?
A stroke. High blood pressure. Well, we're born into it. We're born into death. You're born to die. And that's a reality nobody can change.
So what are you writing?
I'm writing a screenplay. It's called Turnaround.
Yeah, how's it going?
Well, not really good because you know, I got the characters and everything in my head, and it's just I'm having problems writing it out as far as putting it on paper. But it's all in my mind how I want it. I just can't. I just need you to help me bring it all together. Just, you know, advise me on some things that, you know, I'm kind of like at the fork of in the road with. Just moving forward is the problem that I'm having because of just distractions.
What can stop you from procrastinating?
I was in prison, I didn't have no responsibilities. I know writers that procrastinate that get the job done.
When you write a paragraph, what do you do before you do that?
I put it together in my head before I sit down. I think about it first before I sit down.
Okay, that's pretty good. When do you run into trouble?
When the doorbell rang, when the phone rang, when a car passing by my house with loud music.
Start writing again? Start writing again and go. How did it go? What did you write?
I wrote, let me get my thoughts together. It's right in front of my face.
How long is the writing plan for this?
8 months or 8 years or something like that.
Right. Do you have a plan?
No. When Olaf give me a deadline, I got to meet that deadline because I committed myself to it, and I promised him I would.
That's all you wrote?
Yeah.
So how much writing did you do yesterday? What happened?
Nothing.
No, nothing. All right. You waste my time, you waste my life. Yeah? We're trying to do something here. I mean, you don't have to write any more you want to. Like I come back and forth, and sure I help you, but mostly I'm just standing around you and pointing things out. Like when you don't write, I mean, I don't need to finish the speech even. You know the speech, and this is the speech that was, you know, that you knew that was coming. It's the speech that is already inside your head. It's basically you scolding yourself. I'm just the voice of it now. Yeah.
I don't know, rushing or overthinking or something.
Overthinking. Stop there.
Okay.
Look under that umbrella.
When is your next turnaround trip, Daddy G? In Neverwary, he replies. Come on, man, stop playing. I'm not playing. It's on the 33rd of Neverwary. Now go home, and I'll see you on the 33rd.
I'm gonna buy you a Toblerone.
Okay. What
You
it
like
is?
Toblerone?
Nope. I don't know what it is.
It's chocolate.
$29.19.
$29.19.
$29.19. Make all these U-turns.
So, for example, if you want to write a scene, what you have to do is try to focus yourself.
Jesus, man.
Am I boring you?
You can't just ride for a minute and be quiet. Sometimes you need a minute. Give yourself a minute. And give yourself 5 minutes. That's why I'm always making U-turns. You talking to me, I can't even find the building. Then you go in your pitch and be like, oh, my driver. That's your challenge for the day. Silence for 20 minutes. Film that. So you practicing that silent part, right? Well, now you how I feel when you was scolding me. This is Jack. Say hi, Jack. The good thing about him is that he don't talk. He just rides in the back. Well, you gonna speak to him or what?
Does he have any advice for me for the pitch?
Don't overtalk it.
I know you just didn't say that.
No, he don't speak much.
How do you apply your writing tools?
How do I apply it?
To the 8 individual threads now. Your mission is to get them all back into the mess again, but now they're organized. I don't feel sorry for you.
What happened to my break? You gotta get this artist time to marinate. I gotta. What happened to my break?
No, Darryl.
I don't get breaks.
Do you know what it is? Like
This ain't 18.
anytime.
This ain't the 1800s.
Have you ever had a massage before?
Never.
So you're gonna have to tell me, because you got stuff in your shoulders,
Right.
right? Where it hurts.
I won't know until you touch it.
I'll be gentle.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Feel this?
Hey, I kind of feel that. Ooh. Oh, man. Taste a little bit.
Wait, what is that here?
That's turkey.
Yeah, we
With
got
onions.
away from my dad.
Onions are in the pot.
So, Darryl, have all this?
Sure. Yeah, you can eat it. Well, it ain't got to be soft. You can put that towel over it if you want to.
I don't play that shit, man. Fuck you. Okay, Daryl. From here, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Back in the day, I'd be out there running the streets. I ain't value time like this. But right now, I wouldn't get this away from, wouldn't trade this in for nothing. Especially when your kids got respect for you and your family got respect for you. You know what I mean? Especially when you got all that going for you. That's something you don't throw away. That's something you cherish. That's not something that you throw away. You leaving too?
Yeah.
Okay. See you later, man.
Hi, Marquise.
I love you, man. You about to give me some dad.
Marquis.
What a suck. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Fuck. That 20. That 20,
It look like it.
20, twin,
6, 10,
17,
15,
19.
Yes, 20.
And she was like, well, when you think about coming? I was like, well, we come in May. And she was like, wait a minute. She pulled up that 31st, the 30th, and the 31st because she knew Anita Baker was going to be there because she told me she was going to be there 3 days ago.
What's one of your favorite Anita Baker songs?
I like them pretty much all of them.
Oh, that song?
That one.
Pretty much all of them. That's a great song, yeah. You going to Anita Baker concert? Yeah, it was Darryl's idea. It's amazing. He's amazing.
I love how Tanya makes you believe that you're in on it.
Yeah.
Olaf, whose side you
Which
on?
one do you want? That one. Are you sure? No, that one. Yes, I agree with you.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you got it all wrapped up, man.
Deuce is wild.
Hey Olaf, how you doing? I'm gonna have to take a break from this writing right now, man, because I'm in the hospital every day with Marquise. You know, he has cystic fibrosis, and he's on dialysis 24 hours a day, and I'm up there every day, and you know, I just need to be there for support, to, you know, be there for him so they know that, you know, he's not by himself. So you won't be hearing from me. You won't be hearing from me for a while, but it's not because I'm dodging or anything like that. It's just I gotta take care of home and the family right now. So you'll be hearing from me soon. Just know that I'm still in. I just gotta be there for Marquise. I planted these roses. They ain't in bloom right now, but next month they'll be ready to rock and roll. All this gonna be blossom and red and like a beautiful woman, but dangerous. You know what I mean? That's what a rose is to me. It's a thing of beauty, but it's protected by the thorns. You can look at a rose and admire it all you want, but when you go to grab it, it bites you. See, you know what I mean? That's what a rose mean to me. Beauty that's protected. Okay, and your bishop, this is your bishop. Your bishop could only move like this, diagonal. That's your bishop's. All your pawns are on the front line, in front of each other, in front of all the other pieces. You build up your defense. Your main thing is to get on my side of the board and put pressure on my ass.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's the main thing you want to do.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we're on the way to the hospital to see my son, Marquise. He's been in there in and out of the hospital for the past year. He was born with it. He was diagnosed with it at 3. Cystic fibrosis is vicious. The life expectancy with that disease is no more than 35. He's 29. Your child is supposed to bury you. But some things you just can't get around. This is one of them. We had planned, we booked a venue for him at San Antonio Winery. And we had to cancel because he ended up in the hospital in that time. And then he got out, and when he got out, he was feeling better, so he got married at City Hall.
But thoughtfully and seriously, and with deep realization of its obligations and responsibilities. I take you, Marquise, to be my lawfully wedded spouse. So we're gonna go, Marquise, I need you to go ahead and grab onto Taisha's left hand as well.
Yeah.
There you go. And you repeat after me, okay? I take you, Taisha.
Excuse me. I take you, Taisha.
To love you unconditionally.
Love you unconditionally.
and without hesitation. I now pronounce you married under the laws of the state of California. You may now say your vows with a kiss and congratulations to you both.
All right.
So,
Yeah, I know, buddy.
I'm sitting out here
Uh-huh.
thinking about my son, Marquise, because his birthday is coming up.
I know, man.
This is hard for me.
I know, Darryl. I mean, I don't know, but...
This is hard for me.
Okay, buddy.
The actual floor that Marquise was on when he died. This is not easy. Haven't been in here since. But I'm gonna try to just reliving the moment for me, so you gotta bear with me. This is where his life ended and his journey begun. Right beyond these doors. This is where we lost our son. And the staff here, they was awesome. The staff was awesome.
It's rainy in California.
Come on, baby.
You still want to get outside. And when I found out that, man, I was crushed, you know?
It is what it is now, shit. But everybody got their own. When I was in prison, I prayed to any God that would listen. I pray for Buddha, monk, Allah, Jesus Christ.
Whoever listening, please,
I was
this is what I want to say.
I was Jewish for a week. I for a week.
You kind of
It's been working for me for 20, 30 years now.
I heard that.
Yep.
I heard that.
Bro.
And I thank you.
Yep. I've been to hell and back 3 times.
Man.
Look at this rain, man.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's gonna be a hot summer after all this. Hey, Olaf. How you doing, man? I was
giving you a call, let you know that I'm ready to start writing again. We've taken care of everything with Marquise, and the smoke is cleared, so to speak. Everybody's calmed down now, and trying to get you back to the garage so that we can continue where we started. Yeah, so Tanya, she was knowing this is gonna be an emotional week for us because March the 13th, which is Wednesday, would make a year. Marquise has been died. So Tanya, she was crying on the way to work today. I tried to talk her out of going, but she just went. So I would come home after his visits and sit on the front porch at night and cry like a baby. I would cry like a baby. We was standing right there. We was right there holding his hand when he took his last breath. Tanya, Bree, and myself.
This week has really been hard. That anger comes out. And you say, why are you so angry? And it would come all of a sudden. A few times, me and Darryl would be sitting down eating. We're just eating, listening to the music and looking at the videos. And I'm just boo-hoo crying. And he doesn't notice. And then he goes, well, damn, that burger that good? And I just boo-hoo cry and laugh all at the same time. But I can't, I just, in the beginning I could figure it out, but I guess now it's just more of, he's not here. He's not here anymore. He didn't make it to the 30th birthday. And I was like, we gonna make it. But we didn't make it.
So I want you to step out of your body.
Okay, well, he's standing in the corner over there right now.
Okay. Yeah, you stepped out of the body.
Someone's looking at me, standing behind me. So I'm talking to me about guy number 2 life. I'm guy number 2 telling him my life. He's telling me his life. So, how was your trip to the hamburger stand in 1986, Catholic school boy? I was raised in YA. I started going to jail since I was 12 years old. Youth Authority, Gladiator School. I heard you didn't get no visits. I got visits all the time. 30 years, you think that's a long time? I could do that standing on my head. You quiet now and you was quiet then. You disgust me. You weak. I heard stories about you in prison. You always wanted to be the clown of the class clown. Make a movie about this. Make a movie about you walking into the hamburger stand and me fucking up your life. Can you do that? Make a movie about us beating your ass for 4 hours straight, getting kicked all in the face. But I gotta give it to you. You wouldn't let them knock you out. Because if we would have knocked you out, you probably would have got fucked that day. Oh, but rest assured that when we got back from lunch, that was next on the menu. Your ass. We was gonna tear your ass up. You lucky the police came down that road. That's why you got metal in your neck now. We herniated 3 discs in your neck. How do you feel about that, huh? Metal neck? How do you feel about that? Yeah. Yeah, well, you sure lucky that you was gone when we came back, because we were talked about it over lunch. We was gonna come back and we was gonna rape you. But you got a lot to say behind closed doors, in screenplays and recording all this shit. Don't nobody want to see that shit. They want to see me, the bad guy. What's your next move? An Oscar? You gonna get an Oscar? Yeah. Are you gonna get an Oscar, smart guy? You not the star. I am.
Boom, out, shake it off, shake it off, shake the body, shake the body. It's real, man.
Yeah, you told me to go in.
Yeah, you went in. Fucking hell.
You told me to go in.
You went in. That was freaking amazing. See what came out?
Yeah, thank you. You can't just, sit down and tell somebody that, 6 guys in prison beat the hell out of you and tried to rape you in prison. You know what I'm saying? I was self-conscious about that, and I didn't want to share that with anybody, because just the thought of it makes you feel like less than a man. And when you express that to somebody else, it makes you feel like they see you as less of a man. I took it upon myself and I went to see a psychiatrist, and so I'm able to talk about it now, and I don't have to tuck it no more. It's like the bomb was defused. I didn't explode. The bomb was defused, and I'm not a ticking time bomb no more. I'm at peace with myself. Turnaround means when you get on the bus, look, come here. Turnaround means, hey, turnaround means when you get on the bus, they take you to the casino and you stay for 5 hours. Yeah, like that. You get back on the bus like that, and they bring you back home. And this is the bus. That's the bus. Get on the bus. You knocked the bus over. Okay, all right. Okay, and this right here, this the parole officers. Get them. Get the parole officers. This is the parole officers. Come see. Check it out for me. Baby, come here. Check it out for me. Check it out for me. You gonna get on the bus, run some laps, clap it up, run some laps, clap it up, run some laps. Oh, you running long laps now, huh? There you go, good girl.
There's a lot, Darryl.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Probably the longest you've gone. Like, how did you transition into all this?
I stopped time. That's how I did it. I stopped time.
What do you mean?
I stopped time. You told me to take my time, but I stopped time. Creating a time that no one can come into. I stopped time within my writing. Within, I cut myself off from everybody. I stopped time. There was no clocks. There was no nothing. It was just me the pen and my own personal space, and that's how I wrote so much at that one time, because it was just me in the whole world. Like Michael Jordan goes back to see the game he played the night before. I'm just as shocked when I go back to my writing, because when I write it, I don't go over it. I let it sit and I step away from it. I go back to it the next day and I'm just as shocked as Michael Jordan is when he goes back and watch that game. Because when I stop time. I'm trying to practice a pitch, probably be like, see, I got stuck already. And I can't go in there nervous, because then they think I'm trying to sell something stolen.
Usually these meetings are sitting.
So how I come about the screenplay turnaround is, how I come about the screenplay.
Call it an idea,
right?
Because the screenplay isn't there.
Right.
Concept, even better.
So how I come about the concept of this screenplay is because I've been on a few turnarounds myself.
Say the pitch like you did it, but don't use words.
Blah, blah, blah.
Imagine the words and do a blah, blah, blah.
Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah.
Very good, very good. Stop here. Did that tell you something?
I was thinking about it while I was doing it, too. They came together.
They came together and you were able to do how many things at the same time?
2.
Exactly. You were able to speak verbally, blah, 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 and you were able to relax and think about it.
I want to explain it to where they get a visual of it. You know what I mean? And you know, feel the story and be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can see that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How do you check that? How do you know that when they see it?
Maybe I see, I don't know.
You do?
Looking at them. I don't know about looking at them. Eight elephants went to Peru on a bike. 20 dwarfs took turns doing handstands on the carpet. I came up with a story. It's called Turnaround. Someone would charter a bus and put out flyers or notices to invite people to go on a turnaround trip to the casinos. And then, you know, after you're done with the casino, you get back on the bus, they bring you back to the little station where they meet, and everybody go on their merry way.
You thought about like how the ending all works out?
I thought about it. I could elaborate on it some. The beginning and what's going on in the middle that, you know, I haven't really put a whole lot of focus on the end.
I think you still need to work out the end. I think that you shouldn't come into a pitch without having the whole thing ready to pitch. And so you definitely need to get that half of it. You've got the setup going, just see how all of these twists happen and what the journey is for every character at the end.
The part that was getting me was the writing part about, you know, the racing through traffic and you know, that's where I had got stuck. I can admit that. Now that I got my focus, you know what I mean, because I just buried a son, it'll be a year in March.
I'm sorry, you.
Yeah. And the theme of the story is turnaround, right? Because being that I've had so many different turnarounds in my life, this is Daddy Green's 10th year anniversary. So the news media is there. And then I have a couple that's in college. They're 20 years old. Their plan is to go to Vegas and get married. Then I have 2 ex-convicts that can't cross state lines because they're on parole, right? So while the news media is filming, he see his parolees boarding the bus. The parent of the daughter that's going to get married, they're watching the news.
They don't want to get married.
They don't want them to get married because it's too early, right?
So you have people chasing the bus, basically.
Right. Chasing the bus through the desert and all that, trying to stop them before they cross state line. You stop in Barstow, and this is going to be an opportunity for the 2 females to lock the white guy that's with the black guy in the freezer at 7-Eleven, and then they're going to leave him.
I thought you might come in here and tell me, yeah, so then they all go to the bus and they're funny people and then they come back from Vegas and that's it. But no, you have much more than that. You're really thinking about the plot and what you can do to raise the stakes for everybody and give everybody a journey and a story and an arc. Yeah, it's good.
Anyway, we're pitching this to producers and, you know, we'll think about bringing this to you.
Great. Yeah.
We want to take some meetings and...
So my first independent pitch by myself was a hit.
Oh, that's so good to hear.
Yeah. I'm ready for another one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Come to Papa, king of the butterflies. This is amazing. You can close my mouth before one of them fly in it. I can't believe they flew all the way from Mexico.
What? Sorry, what flew from Mexico?
The butterflies. They flying all the way to Mexico to some state and reproduce. And I heard they fly 20 miles an hour. I wonder where they layover gonna be. Look at that, it ain't even rush hour yet.
There are butterflies on the freeway.
Yeah, plenty of them. So what's the first act? Because they gonna ask you what's the first act.
I know that, Darryl.
You on your way to your pitch. Okay, well start with the theme. What's your theme?
It's like poking a bee's eye when you do that.
The theme. So you ready for the pitch? You don't seem ready to me. You can't explain it to me. How you gonna sit up in their face and explain it to them? Yeah. That's what they gonna say. They gonna say, ha ha ha. That's like Denzel. That's what they gonna, ha ha ha. Get out of here. You're not ready.
Yeah, there's a lot of confidence today.
Yeah, well, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
You should be like a life coach or something.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Tell them that when you get in that office.
Yeah, I got my life coach in the car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I can teach you a few things too.
Should like have a toilet or something here so I can.
There go a big green bush right there. You wanna go for it?
I'll hold it.
All right. I have my butterflies get you in line.
Well done.
Yeah. This is one for you, Olaf. It's called The Tower. It's a testimonial from the prison life. And it goes, tell me, just who's got the power? The blacks, the browns, or just the gun tower? I'm a black devil, homicidal maniac, 24/7, many 14s at my back. You think I give a fuck? Tough luck, cause I don't see society label me a menace to my community. I have no religion, Mohammed or Jesus Christ. I'm a blacksmith shaping my metal into knives. Retaliation's a must, and my mind's gotten sick. I walk slow, drink a lot of water, carry a big stick. I'm a Takachuma. Let's bring me knife and Swahili. COs get so bold, they can't fuck with me. Insanity is the place that I don't wanna go. But I swear the other night I heard my hair grow. As the cannon went boom, and then the cannon went boom, my back to the head and my ears to the sky. The angel of death was here with a tear in his eye. I was the image in the scope through the gun tower's eyes. Now that I'm gone, don't go naming no babies after me. The dead be dead. Oh Lord, let my soul rest in peace. Forgive me, Father, for doing all the wrong I can't fix. Forgive me, Lord, for putting Shadi's killers in the mix. He was innocent, souls heaven sent. And when he died, so did my common sense. Forgive me, Lord, for doing all the dope that I can. Forgive me, Father, for not being a responsible man. I love you, Mother, sisters and brothers, nieces and nephews, cousins and others. Because the cannon went boom and I had to die. Because the cannon went boom,